And so then I pause and I just think to myself for a second. I look at him. I'm like, you guys are think I'm crazy, but just trust me on this one, okay? Just follow. And I take the tortilla chips and I just dump them all out on the table. And I take the trail mix and I dump it all out on the table. So God knows, and there's like art on the table, like God knows how expensive this shit is, right? And I'm like, this is the legacy financial system. And I look at the payments guy. Like, you know this, right? I'm like, this is Visa, and this is Chase, right? And this is the consumer making the payment, and this is Starbucks. And I was like, and a raisin is dollars, okay? And the consumer wants to send the dollar, and the Starbucks wants to receive the dollar, but in the middle are all these legacy tortilla chips, and I poured a shit ton of raisins on them all. Like, they got all this rent to pay, right? Western Union, what do you think Western Union's rent is to have like 500 locations in 200 countries? Like, they got rent, they got fixed costs, they got balance sheet float. Like, how many dollars does Chase have sitting around that's bleeding away and losing to inflation? They got all this muck and shit like that. I'm like, that's how someone buys coffee. Or remit money to El Salvador, right? For the IMF, I did El Salvador. And I bring it down and say, that's legacy, okay? Now, I'm gonna put a tortilla chip here. That's me trying to send money to El Salvador. I'm going to put a tortilla chip here. That's the El Salvador recipient. And I picked up a peanut. I was like, this thing, magic. Dude, I'm talking to a guy that manages $1 trillion and fucking peanut in his face. I'm like, this thing's magic. Because let me tell you something. This peanut can get from this tortilla chip to this tortilla chip with nothing in the middle. Fucking at the speed of light. This tortilla chip is like out of a movie, bro. This peanut fucks. This peanut's magic. This peanut does shit that raisins could never do. And they're like, what is this kid talking about? I'm like, this peanut can go from Chicago to El Salvador to Bitcoin Beach instantly for free. But nobody wants to use it because everyone's allergic to peanuts. No one wants to touch the peanuts. And so I took a raisin and I put it on the tortilla chip, and I took a raisin and I put it on the tortilla chip. It's like, what if the tortilla chips, all they did was interface with raisins? That's it. And we just used the peanuts to get rid of all the muck up there. The peanuts, you don't have to love peanuts or like die hard for peanuts or libertarian as fuck for peanuts. Doesn't matter. The peanuts do the job of all the legacy muck, the Chase and Western Union and the Visa that I described up there. So this tortilla chip can pledge to spend $1. It could turn to a peanut, zip anywhere in the world, zip to any merchant, do anything it wants. Magic. Nothing before like it. And then we just turn it back into a raisin and give it to the end tortilla chip. And there's no muck in the middle. And then the winners are whoever provides the best experience for the tortilla chips. And they were like, holy shit. And then he looks at me and he's like, I have to introduce you to Jeff. And I was like, I know that he had wanted to introduce me to someone else or something. And I'm like, Jeff. And he's like, yeah, the one who founded Amazon. And I was like, fuck. And he got his phone out and he texted Bezos right in my face. And he's like, you got to talk to this kid. And that's my story. And now this gentleman actually...
You can't stop there.
No.
Fuck off.
And then actually this gentleman got permission to invest in Strike. And so now we're working with him on some pretty cool shit.
When do I get the post-text message to Bezos story?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm working like really hard on integrating as many people onto this monetary network as I possibly can. Because again, I think like for the people on Bitcoin...
Well played, Jack.
Yeah, well, so anyway, that's the tortilla chip. Where's the camera? That's the tortilla chip, raisin, and peanut story. The peanuts were Bitcoin, and they just dismantle the legacy financial intermediaries. And if there is a market for people to live solely on peanuts, like the Bitcoin standard, do it.